Hey, welcome back to my channel and to another episode of Behind the Screen, where I walk you through one of my latest projects. My name is Nyla and I'm a learning experience designer. I create adult learning experiences for the digital space. I'm back to show you my second submission for The Show, which is a design competition running in conjunction with the Learning Conference. A couple of weeks ago, I showed you my first submission, a text message based learning experience for a fictional city called Liberty City. It was a big hit in the competition and even got me collaborating with the makers of the tool I used, Arist. So after coming out of the gate so strongly, I was a little worried I couldn't live up to my own hype. But then I had to remind myself that I wasn't designing for me, I was designing for LGBT.me, a small non-profit LGBT organization. And that brings me to the second submission for the second round of the show. Just like I did last time, I'm going to start with giving you some background on the brief or the prompt for this week's submission, and then my thought process around how I decided to choose my design methodology. If you haven't yet, definitely go back and watch that first video because it'll give you some background on the learning conference, on the show, let you understand what I'm doing and how you can sign up and get some tickets. I am speaking at the conference as well, so I'd really love you to come and see my session. So let's get into the brief. So here we have the email from our potential client. I know that they're a small nonprofit. I got this client request directly from the CEO. They have a small budget of $5,000 and they're looking to focus on the health and well-being of their team members. So some things I took out of the email that helped me get more of an idea about the client I would be working with is, of course, that they're a nonprofit, who they serve, it's the LGBT community, that they are forward thinking and they want something outside of the box, which could be tough with a $5,000 budget, but I think I managed to get what they need. And they don't have an LMS, so that was really important to know as well. And they want something that I can produce and immediately hand over to them that they can implement right away. So not a lot of management on the design end, something that they can handle on their own. So I had to do a lot of thinking about this. I took a lot of notes. First, what I did was a little bit of user research. So I've never implemented a health and wellness plan. What I did was ask my LinkedIn community and on Twitter what people thought about their current health and wellness plans, what they wish was different, what they would implement if they could. And a few people gave me some good feedback that I was able to feed back into my design. And one of the things is that people didn't like being told things that they already knew. They didn't want their health and wellness program to assume what they needed. They wanted it to be more customized to their needs. And I really took that to heart in what I was going to design and in how my idea would incorporate the needs of this specific nonprofit community. Next, I did some research into LGBT health and wellness programs that already exist, LGBT health and wellness conferences, and also specifically the struggles of that community. A big thing that popped up, a theme that I kept seeing over and over, is the struggle to find inclusive health care and then that supports to help manage the many systemic issues that you go through as somebody in the LGBT community. So I'm going to give you a quick overview of what I designed for LGBT.me, and then I'll show you a preview of the actual learning experience in action. So I designed a Slack-based health and wellness solution for LGBT.me. I want to introduce you to Welma. Welma is a Slack-based bot designed to help LGBT.me employees stay connected, build resilience, success, and mental health. I built this bot mock-up using botsociety.io, and I can also build the actual functional bot to use in Slack using this same site. Welma has 4 priorities: to help users find inclusive providers, medical providers, to inspire action like movement, breathing, and drinking water, to support users as they overcome the many systemic obstacles they face as members of the LGBTQIA community, and to educate users about wellness issues they want to know more about instead of making assumptions about their knowledge gaps. So those 4 priorities are actually what my learning objectives would be in instructional design speak, but I've repackaged them as priorities for this health and wellness solution. I did that because learning objectives written in the traditional way work for you as an instructional designer, as a e-learning developer, but they don't always fit in that framework into your learning experience. So I'm a really big fan of turning learning objectives into learning questions, or here into the 4 priorities. It's just a way to sneak those in without jarringly saying the learning objectives for this course are. I decided this was the best solution for the client for a couple of reasons. It's budget friendly, pretty easy to implement, and manageable for users of any age. Once you go through the Getting Started guide with Slack, it's pretty easy to figure out. The admin can help assign people to certain channels, and all you have to do is type #Welma, and she comes up and you can talk to her about anything. Also, the price tag is pretty nice for Slack. There's a free tier depending on the amount of people in your organizations, and then it's about $12.95 per person after that. And then you pay a fee for the unlimited messaging with the bot, and that's about $9.48 a year. And then, of course, the payment for design, which would be agreed upon in your statement of work. But I think it's pretty reasonable for the $5,000 budget. Let's take a look at it in action. Welma works on both the mobile and desktop versions of Slack. The bot will introduce themselves and let the user know they can help. Then it will ask if that's something that the user's interested in. If the answer is yes, Welma will start asking questions to help understand the specific needs of the user, in this case, Jade. That's how Welma starts building a user profile so personalized recommendations can be made. It's a very natural conversation, and it integrates pretty seamlessly with Slack. I like that it's connected to Slack because of Slack's natural community building capabilities. So not only can you rely on Welma, you can also commune with your coworkers. And there you go. That's submission number 2 for the show, running in conjunction with the Learning Conference. If you liked what you saw, I really would appreciate it if you'd watch my episode of the show here on YouTube. The link will be down in the description box. And vote for your girl, Nyla LXD. And also consider buying a ticket to see me speak. I'll be talking about mentorship and coaching and how you can build a sustainable mentorship program that supports both you as a professional and your mentee. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Stay tuned for the next episode of Behind the Screen. And while you're here, go and check out my podcast, The New Here Show. I created especially for new instructional designers and e-learning developers. You can watch it right here on YouTube or anywhere else you listen to podcasts. I'll see you next time. Bye.